Systems on me. Three screen screen. AZ Stevens. Clear for launch. Hands tied, lights flash, red to green. Every breath is gasoline. Code and chaos, pixels and pain. One mistake and you're out of the game. Screens glow bright, heat in my face. Digital track, physical race. Robin's voice cutting through the crowd. Send it, baby, we're running proud. No reset, no second chance. Heartbeat syncs with the engines, dancing the noise. I find my calm, adrenaline's my song. Full send nation, burn the line. Every lap we redefine. No fear, no hesitation. Stevens Motorsport domination. Full send nation, rise again. Full send nation, rise again. 40 cars deep, daylight fades. We ride the storm that the engine made. No walls hold when the dream's in gear. You don't drive fast, you disappear. Set up sheet tape to the dash. Tuned by code and a flash of cash. Sweat drips down, white knuckles burn. This ain't practice, it's my turn. Grip the wheel, feel the grind. Chasing ghosts through the online mind. Every lap a brand new war. I ain't lifting anymore. Full send nation, red line ride. Fuel on fire, hearts collide. Triple screen thunder breaking the chain. We don't quit, we live insane. In gears we trust. In rubber we pray. For every wreck, another day. You better hold that line, AJ. Full send, full send. Full send, full send. Full send nation, flag held high. Daytona dreams will never die. Stevens Motorsports built to win. Light that fuse and send it again. Full send nation, crank that sound. Engine scream, the world spins round. From the grid to the finish flame, we own the night. Remember the name. Yeah. Stevens Motorsports. Full send forever. Engines live, telemetry synced. Stevens Motorsports, lock it in. Fuel in my veins, fire in my chest. Every heartbeat's louder than the rest. The rig's alive.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are back with round 7 of the NASCAR Generations race at Indianapolis Motor Speedway with the 87 Cup cars, which is one of my favorites. This is one of the few places outside of a super speedway where I've pulled off a win in these cars. So I know a thing or two about getting around this track. We've got 13 cars in the field tonight, so it should be a pretty decent race. These guys are getting ready to qualify right now. We're going to go ahead and get some race info up on screen for you, though. It's 70 laps tonight. They got 5 sets of tires. It is 74 degrees outside. It's about 100 degrees on the track. That's really going to play a factor into how this car is going to race here tonight, especially being the fact that these cars never raced here in real life. You're going to hear me reference that a lot tonight. And I think you're going to understand why by the end of this, because the way that you have to build the setup and the horsepower and everything, it makes it very tough to get around this track. Indy is not overly forgiving. So that's always an issue here, but, you know, it can be a lot of fun though, if everything goes to plan. You basically got to drive this place like you're driving on an eggshell. That's the best way to put it. So we'll have to see how it goes for these guys tonight. But 70 laps is actually shorter than what we usually see for an iRacing official. I think we're going to use the TV Spectator today for this because it works quite well. Almost makes you feel like you're watching the Indy 500 on TV. Oh, we got a couple of different looks we can do. As we watch Corn clip around this place. Don't forget, coming up after this, we're going to have the Yes Car 3D series. We got those guys back on TV or on the channel for the first time in a couple of weeks. You know, after some racing and whatnot, we'll have those guys. We'll actually have a separate stream just for that. So once this race gets over, we'll be headed over to deal with that broadcast. And we'll bring you all 4 of those races from the night. Also, it's Daytona week, which has been very up and down. The numbers have not been where I expected them to be for 87's week. I think mainly because it's a holiday weekend, that sort of thing. But overall, it's been weird. I'll say that. So Tyler Lee on the top of the board as Corn's going to try and put in a fast lap on his second lap. But usually second lap is not as fast as the first one. As Corn gets a little loose there out of turn number 4. Now, what's also interesting about this track is the fact that it races uphill to downhill. Oh, James, the 2008 version of Daytona isn't that bad. But this place races uphill to downhill. Turns 1 and 2 are higher than turns 3 and 4. So 3 and 4 is where I look for guys to really start to lose it because they're going to carry more speed down into 3. And if you lose your braking point, it's going to make it tough. I'll say that. But, you know, I think these guys are ready. They did quite a few laps. It looked like they were all having a decent time with it. So I don't anticipate anything super crazy, but you never know. See if anybody else is still rolling around. Mr. Haller trying to put in a lap. Aiden Haller to the top of the board with that one. 56.794. Not bad, not bad. We'll see if he can make that stick throughout the race. It is kind of tricky. You're going to have to get a good jump here to be able to really do anything with the way the Indy runs. There's not a lot of room for passing in the corner, so you got to get your drive down the front stretch or the back stretch. And depending on how you came out of the corner is going to depend on how the rest of that run goes. If you come out with too much power, you're in for a bad time. So, but we will go ahead and get our grid up. And we'll get this out of the way. Aiden Hall are going to be your pole sitter with a 56.794. Tyler Lee rolls off second tonight. Korn's going to roll off third. JD McHaley rolls off fourth. Diesel Weasel's fifth. Gabe Griffin starts sixth. Ethan Mosby seventh. Mike McHaley eighth. Eric Kapp ninth. Gary Freeman's 10th. Phil doesn't matter because he's our race guy for the night. You've got Ron St. Louis starting in 11th. Ralph Connor will start 12th, and James Phillips will start 13th. So that is your grid for the night. All right. And then JD's car, as we can see, is not fully painted yet. He's apparently still working on it after the wreck that he had last week, which makes things kind of funny. All right, let's get we'll get the logos up. We'll get the track map up. I'm gonna have to turn these guys down. They are talking like crazy. We got some jokes in the chat too. All right. The one thing I hate about this place, we're gonna pace around here for about 1.5 to 2 minutes to get this all the way back. What's going on, Dustin? Oh, God, JD's singing Christmas music. Help me, folks. Please, for the love of God, help me. JD said he's saying that he's in a backup car right now because the car's been absolutely wrecked. So you're not wrong, Daryl, but the thing that I do like about being able to hear these guys is I can kind of relay what's going on in the race, and we kind of keep it a little more family friendly that way. So not the worst thing in the world for me to be able to hear them and not you guys. So, oh, we got a couple of blinkers out there. Ron and Ethan, it looks like, starting to blink. I had Gary try to challenge me. He wanted me to climb in the car here, and I just kept telling him he didn't want that smoke. Although he was trying to get me in the race for his birthday today. It is Gary's birthday, so we'll see if the birthday boy can pull it off or not. There's a lot of grass to mow here, though, so anything's possible, right? But pace car should duck off any second here. I did confirm with Corn, these guys can only make about 45 laps of the race before they have to pit, so we're gonna have to get Ron some pizza at some point. But right now we're going racing, and Aiden's kicking this thing off. Aiden on the low side as we go down into turn at number 1. This track kind of runs funky. You want a high entrance with a very early arc, but don't touch below the white line because it definitely will go for a ride quickly. Oh, God, we've got Mike off in the back. Him and Gary into the inside wall already. Oh, no, Mike missed a gear. We're still green out front, though. I don't know how bad Gary's hurt. Well, Gary's race is done already, too. As Aiden continues to lead out front. Ron's still blinking a little bit, which is unusual for him. Aiden leads across the line that time. Oh, Corn way up the track. You know better than that, buddy. We got a hornet's nest behind Aiden. Oh, that's always fun. See a lot of these guys trying to hit their braking zones and not run over each other. A lot of these guys found that if you ran it too hard for too long, the right rear was gone and the car would come around. Oh, as we see JD body the wall. I think he overdrove his exit there just a little bit. Oof. Gary's already out after lap number 1. Too much damage. We're done. Down the backstretch we go. So it's Aiden, Korn, Tyler Lee, Griffin, Weasel, McHaley, Mosby, St. Louis, Cap, Connor, your top 10. Let's change this to here. We'll get you guys some better sounds. We'll crank it up for just a minute while we go around here. So it looks like Korn has gotten around Aiden. My guess is Aiden kind of out driving his tires a little bit there. Like I said, this is one of those places that you cannot get away with really driving the ever-living daylights out of this place, or otherwise you're not going to be in a good position come about lap 20, quite honestly. Korn leads down into turns 3 and 4. Tyler Lee hot on his heels. They're going to see if they can't pull away a little bit. Ooh, Tyler going to look to the inside. Slips up a little bit there off of turn number 4. See Diesel on the move too. So it'll be interesting to see how far he can make it as Tyler Lee looks to the inside again. They're putting a little bit of a gap on Gabe, but it's early, right? You're 6 laps in. A lot of people would panic right now. And I think even if people start to get out in front of you a little bit, panicking is not going to help long run. If you panic, it's going to cause you to burn up some things, and it's just not going to make for a good day. Corn wants me to get a sponsor message out. Don't forget, guys, the ICW 500 is coming up here in February. I do believe Corn's going to open signups up here very shortly. So if you're interested, you should start to see things over in the Legends Racing Network Discord, is where we're going to kind of host that out of. Just because this is an 87 car, it's going to be more geared towards the 87 crowd. So if that's something that you're interested in, make sure you've clicked the link in the chat for the Legends Racing Network Discord and head over there. But that, I think he's going to start all that start of this month, or start of December, I should say. As the top 6 have basically broken away, which is Corn, Tyler Lee, Griffin, Haller, Diesel, and JD. Oh, as Gabe gets the wall a little bit. We're through lap number 8. And Diggs, you're not wrong. If you overdrive this track, it'll bite you like a guard dog. Tyler Lee way up the track. If he keeps driving like that, he ain't gonna have no right side tires left. It's kind of ironic. Right side tires left. No, that's not what we mean. Hopefully these guys can get it in line, get it together. And Ethan Mosby leads the group of guys behind Aiden. I kind of wonder if we're going to start to see Aiden fall off. We'll set this to, I want to check last lap times. Corn at a 58.5. Eric capped with a 58.4 last time, so we'll see what it looks like after this lap. 58.8, 58.7. This whole front group just following Corn. The second group is a touch faster. Like we should start to see them close in a little bit. Oh, as JD misses his mark. He hangs on to it, but out and around Diesel he went. I don't think he planned to. And now he's out on the outside again. Diesel's going to be the inside. Oh, no! JD, hang on to it! Woo! That got wild. Let's see what kind of damage he's got here. It doesn't look like much, so I think he's going to be okay. But that's going to let the top 4 start to skate away. Yeah, Gary, that went way quicker than I thought it was going to, buddy. Man, I'm waiting for one of these guys to clip the concrete just a little bit, because that could spell disaster if you do that. This car likes to really get wild if you catch that concrete. Oh, Diggs, it's not that. It's the way that the setup is. The setup is basically so tight, it snaps loose, which is not even fun. So it's just the iRacing fixed for this car is just atrocious. Is Aiden starting to pull this pack back in a little bit? We got about 30 more laps before we start to see fuel stops. I'm very curious to know when we're going to see the first caution. But with the way everybody's kind of driving and them being spread out, we might not see a caution. Yeah, basically, Diggs. It's got a really funky track bar in it, which isn't bad because it makes it tighten up on exit, which is where you want it, but it gets tight in a weird way, and then it just goes, nope, we're loose. So not a lot of fun. Man, Tyler Lee is just hounding Corn, but he doesn't look to move out of line. Gabe's going to dive to the inside here, offset, get some air on the nose for the corner. See if he can be pretty patient and just hope that the two in front of him start to burn up their tires more than he does. Yeah, Gary, it kind of does with the way that the track bar is. Now, Eric Capp looks like he's gotten around JD, so JD's still struggling with some... I'm sure he's got some wheel damage after that. So Eric Capp is on the move and around JD. And it looks like Aiden Haller has finally lost the back of the pack in front of him, which isn't a good sign because draft does play into effect here. So we'll see if he can keep it kind of close. But it looks like, God, it looks like he's falling way off, unless he's just trying to back the corner up quite a bit. Yeah, Gary, basically. That's why the low and slow method with this car is so critical. Because if you try to push the tires late in a run, your tires are just gassed. You've got no drive out of the corner. Now, you can do the whole game of, well, I can put right side tires on it. It's not going to make it that much of a difference. If anything, it actually makes it scarier. So really, 4 tires is kind of the way to go with the setup. As Corn continues to lead out of 2. And down the backstretch we go one more time. Ooh, Gabe looking like he wants to go around Tyler Lee, and he's got him on corner entry. See if he can outbrake and get around him. And he does. Gabe's been putting in a bunch of work in this car lately, so I'm not surprised. We'll see if he can take off after Corn, because here you can actually get to a point where you could break away by yourself. And Gabe's going to try and close in now that he's got some momentum build up. Gabe's within 0.3 at Corn. Nobody's had anything for Corn yet as JD continues to fall off the back of the pack. JD all the way back to 10th right now. So I'm sure he's looking for a caution, see if he can't get some things fixed. We go back to the battle for the lead. I gotta imagine we're 15 laps in. I'm waiting to see who loses it off corner exit, and it looked like Eric Capp's coming down pit road for an unscheduled pit stop. Unless he's thinking of fuel now, tires later. See if he can't maybe make up some time with jumping things. Oh, Oh, we had Gabe slide back. Let's go back and take a look at that really quick. Oh, no. A massive difference of braking. Ooh, does Gabe hang on to it? He does. I don't think he hit anything there, so that's really going to hurt him long run. Now he's got to run these guys down, and Korn is checked out a little bit from the pack that Diesel's leading. We'll see if he can run them down. Oh, no. JD and James Phillips have crashed. JD hits the wall. Oh, good Lord. Ouch. That's a rough break for JD there. Oh, man, the whole front end of that car is blown apart. As Korn continues to lead, Diesel is slowly pulling these guys in. Korn's got him back out to 1.4. See, and with them not having anybody behind him, it's not going to pull the yellow out. Sounds like JD might be able to get it back out on track here in a minute. We'll see if he gets some damage fixed here. Korn's only up 1.1. Now, the fact that you've got the 4 cars behind Korn, they really should be able to pull him in due to draft easy enough. But we'll see what happens. Now Aiden has made it up to 3rd place. Apparently JD tried to drive it out and it is super effed. Korn's got a 1.2 second lead over 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. I'm actually surprised that Gabe was able to catch back up. And Aiden goes around Diesel up into 2nd. Sounds like there might have been some confusion as to why there wasn't a caution. As Aiden is getting ready to go back after Korn as he's got him down to 0.79. And Gabe's going to try to go to the inside of Diesel now. And more than likely, being that he's to the inside, I see... Ooh, Gabe gets a little loose off exit. But he'll have the inside for turns at number 3 and 4, and he'll clear Diesel there. So Gabe is clear of Diesel, and see if he can't run Aiden back down after the little slip up in 3 and 4. Because it's kind of funny how much this track actually, how much the draft is affected when you don't have somebody to work with. So... And I think right now that's hurting Aiden because he was 0.7. Then he lost his drafting partner. So now they've got to get back to him, pick him up. and start digging back towards corn. And we're already seeing that time start to come down as Gabe gets a little bit closer to the backside of Aiden here. But right now, it's all corn through lap 21. I want to get this up. He's led 17 out of 21 laps. Gabe was your early leader. But Corn showing him how to get it done right now. See Tyler Lee getting a little skittish off the exits. Trying to get him to come back. Oh, that's funny. It's kind of funny. Certain angles, everything looks so much faster. Ooh! Gabe gets around Aiden for second place. It brings Tyler Lee with him, so I don't know if Aiden's tires are just that gone. Let's get our dashboard up. I'm just kind of curious as to the speeds these guys are carrying. I mean, it does, Diggs, it looks like a Sunday drive at points, but they're not going that slow. That's the wild part. You know, we're going off of Gabe's speed. He's 178 down the backstretch. You're going to see him hit the brakes hard, dive it into the corner. I think Aiden overpushed his tires. Because Aiden's already lost these guys again. Like, he could probably pull back up to him again, but I gotta wonder if his tires aren't gone. As Tyler Lee was really pushing Gabe down into the corner, trying to get these guys back towards Corn, as Corn is just kind of driving out of their lives right now. Now, we see Eric Kapp on the other end of the track. He's at he's 42.5 seconds back. But if we go ahead and check last lap times, Eric Kapp's a 58.7. He's running about the same as these guys. Granted, they've got a draft going on. Depending on how he filled it, it may work out if this thing stays green long run with the short pit at the start. So we'll have to see. Let's see what the lap time is for these guys this next time around. Corner with a 58.8. These guys with a 58.4 and a 58.5. So they are pulling Corn in. Check the gap, 1.1 right now. And side-by-side racing is not going to help these guys. It's going to help Corn get away. They're side-by-side down the backstretch, and Corn is just pulling away at the moment, but Tyler Lee going to have the inside in turns number 3 and 4. Unless Gabe can clear him, and he does. See if these guys can push back. They lost 3/10 on that one. Oh, you ain't kidding, Diggs. That's exactly what Corn wants to see. Let's get our Delta box up, and I'm very curious. I've got to find. I mean, Gabe's keeping right around a 1.6 gap And they really need to stay in line, stay the course, not pass each other, and they'll be right to the back of Corn. This is going to be considerable. I mean, they've pulled him in quite a bit here. As we're getting to lap 27. We'll see what things look like here in just a second. But if Tyler and Gabe can stay in line versus fighting, they've got a better chance of working together right now than working separately. Wow, they've got it down to less than a second. This is not what Corn wanted to see now, as these guys are going to be getting bigger in the rear view mirror of that Pontiac on board with Corn. They've got his draft. There is no doubt in my mind Gabe is fully pulling on that draft at this point. And he gets to within 0.3 on corner entry. I just hope that Gabe doesn't try to get a little overzealous trying to get there. And now we've got the top three all together. But they've got about 2.3 seconds over Diesel. Oh, Gabe was going to look inside, but I don't think he was close enough to even try it. And this is where it gets tough, right? The dirty air coming off the back of these cars is going to make for a very interesting time. And we've already got guys calling out pit. We got Diesel coming in. We got Ron coming in. I know if you could stretch it right now, that's going to be more beneficial later on. As Diesel heads for pit road. Oh, does Ron make it? He does. Back to the battle for the lead. So Gabe's been going consistently faster than Corn. We'll get the 03 of Mosby pitting this time. Gabe to the inside of Corn. He doesn't complete the pass. So a lot of these guys haven't pitted yet, but now we're starting to see Cap come through the field. That's going to be something to keep an eye on. I'm sure he's probably done the math here as to what will work and what won't. Corn's going to come in this next lap. Gabe as well. So your top three all coming in this time. So you're able to get another lap that the other guys haven't been able to get. So this could get interesting. As it looks like Aiden and Ralph are starting to catch these guys. Diesel, I believe, is the first car lap down here. They're going to have to do at least another stop, unless Cap figured if he early pitted for fuel, only took tires a little bit closer to the end, it might pay off. Oh, and Gabe spins! That's not good. And Aiden is taking over the lead. Let's see, has he pitted yet? Aiden has not pitted yet, so he extends even further. So that makes things even more interesting. So while these guys get to race in some really nice weather, outside my window, it's a balmy 32 with snow. We got about 10 inches. They're talking about 10 inches for Michigan today. So we'll have to see what happens there overnight. And here comes Aiden to pit road. Oh! Good golly, Miss Molly. These guys need to learn to dial their brake bias forward. So we'll have to see what happens. But Eric Cap becomes your leader here. Now remember, Cap didn't take tires. So gonna be interesting as to what happens. Oh, Corn ran out of fuel and missed his pit box on pit road. So he had to tow for 9 seconds to get back to his pit box. So that makes things very interesting. We're actually going to check the pit strategy right now. So Ralph Connor is going to inherit the lead once Cap pits. They went 30 laps, right? He's got a 3-second lead over Tyler Lee. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. But this really stretches things out. So Ralph's in second. You got Tyler Lee here in third place. He ran with Corn for quite a while there. Then you got Diesel Weasel in fourth. Ron's up to fifth, with Ethan Mosby right behind him in sixth. And then Aiden Haller is seventh. And remember, he went further on fuel than everybody else. So, and then you've got Gabe trying to make a comeback to the front. And then Corn, your longest tenured leader so far, coming in ninth, the last car on the lead lap. He's 25 seconds back to Eric Cap right now. But Ralph is starting to reel in Eric Cap at an alarming rate. He's down to 8.5 seconds. And let's check the delta. We don't want delta time. We want lap times. And I'm actually looking for this. So compared to Cap, he ran 1.8 seconds faster last time around. We'll see what it says after this lap. Cap was 1.6 seconds slower. So they are, with the tires, they are running him down way quicker. It's just going to be interesting to see what happens for Cap here. They're already down to 7. And it looks like Tyler Lee may have Ralph's draft. I can't tell yet. Michelle, that sounds miserable. I wish it was like 70 here, but sadly it is not. Let's see what it looks like on this lap. Is Eric Cap just crossed the line? You see Eric Cap diving it off into turn 1. It's interesting. They're losing. So if you look at Ralph's lap times, they're losing about 0.2 a lap. Now that should plateau here at some point. So they got to make up their time while the tires are still fresh. But you can burn them off pretty freaking quick here. I'll move back a little bit further. Diesel over here by himself, and he's got Ron, and I believe that's Ethan closing in. Now, Two cars are going to work better than one around here, especially if they can stay in a line. So we'll have to keep an eye on it. But Eric Cap out in front, he just turned in a 1 minute lap time. He must have slipped or something there, or the tires are just that gone. If we come back over here to his pit strategy, he's got about 15 more laps before he pits. We call Eric the Silent Assassin for a reason. Usually he's got something up his sleeve. So if we go 15 laps from now, that's going to put him about lap 50. It's a 30 lap run to the end, a little bit longer than I think he's going to like, but it may put him far enough out in front that it may not matter. So if he's kind of playing a long game here, he needs this thing to go green for this strategy to really work. I just don't know if it's going to work for him or not. Because right now he's been out here. He doesn't have any drafting help. So we'll have to see, as it looks like Tyler Lee is going to go to the inside of Ralph Connor. And see if they can't drag him back in. If we go back to lap times, they were a second faster last time around. Now that pass out of 2 may change some things. Even Korn's kind of closed in. He was 16 seconds back, or he was 25 seconds back after the first lap out of pit road. He's 16 seconds back, and it looks like closing in on Gabe. So maybe they can get a 3-car train going and get moving. They're about 2.8 back. They're almost to plateau level with Eric Cap, which is kind of shocking. I kind of wonder if these guys didn't run a little bit too hard from what I'm seeing, but again, they're still closing in on Eric Cap. They got him down to about 2.5 almost. So it's going to be interesting to see what the strategy is here. Like I said, Eric's going to have to pit at some point soon. But I think if he pits with about 30 to go, there's going to be 30 or 40. So we're going to take a look at the pit strategy again. Actually, Cap's going to have to pit the next 8. So I was wrong about that. So he should pit at about lap 50. It'll be a 30 lap run to the end. It may work out. So we'll see how much fuel he's actually saved. If it was me and I was Cap, I'd be clutching the ever-living daylights out of this thing. Try to extend that fuel just a little bit further, and if it works out to where you can match where they've got to go in, because Tyler Lee gets loose. He saves it, but Michelle, she's been on the whole bandwagon of what's the word that I'm looking for here? She's been on the Fortnite bandwagon lately, so 1.2 to Eric Cap right now. I kind of got to wonder if Tyler is even realizing that Cap's got a pit. There's no point in really pushing like crazy to get to him, but you know, they're still running about a second faster than Cap is. So we're going to see Cap pit before 50. Ooh, as Tyler gets loose again, that's not good. He's definitely overusing that right rear tire and kind of abusing the left as well. Michelle, it's kind of like a kid's version of Call of Duty is the best way to explain that. About a half second faster that time. Oh, good God, Ethan. That's terrible. I do believe... Is JD out there circling at this point? Yeah, JD is out there circling. He's about 12 laps down. I think at this point, man, I don't even know if I'd go around Cap. But I guess he's gonna. And Cap's gonna head to pit road. That might be a smart play. Go until the leaders catch you, and then 30 laps to go pit and run. So that may work out for him. So Tyler Lee's your leader. Ralph Connor's going to be second. Then you've got Diesel Weasel, followed by Ron, our third and fourth. We're going to come back here to fifth to see Aiden and Gabe. And look who's caught up in seventh is Korn. So now the leaders are about 11 seconds out in front. I think if Korn can plug away smoothly, and if he goes in a couple of laps later than Tyler Lee, it may work out for him. We'll have to see. And then we've got JD out here with a fully clean race car at this point. Just ripping laps. That's what he's doing. As we go back to the battle for the lead, Ralph Connor all over the backside of Tyler Lee. Yeah, Diggs, I think that's a smart play. Like, because then you don't have to worry about hitting pit road. If somebody spins in front of you, you know, we've already seen a couple of spins tonight headed down pit road because, again, one of those things that you don't think about is rolling that brake bias forward so you can get slowed up. You know, I think for Cap, it's not a bad play. And he comes back out in front of the leaders. So he was able to get on pit road, get off pit road. I'll be curious to see if he runs away from these guys or not. I wonder if we can get that up and see if it shows it. So right now, Cap's 1.3 and pulling away. Because he's going to have better drive off speed. Yeah, Cap's already out 1.7, so man, this may change a lot of things right here. Because if Cap gets out in front fast enough, it very well could work out in his favor. Cap's already up 2.4. And we know these guys have to pit one more time. We've been looking at the numbers. It's been about 13 laps. 13 laps on a 30 lap run. Yeah, they're going to have to pit before the end. So do you pit early with about 20 to go? I don't think you're going to have to worry about fuel, Dustin. I think the bigger question is are your tires going to hold out? So right now, Cap's got to run away from him. He doesn't really have a choice. He's already up 3 seconds. You know, get as far away from them as you can with fresh tires, so that way on the back end of it all, it winds up working out. I'm very curious to know if we go to Eric Cap. I mean, Cap's a full second faster than Korn. And I think if we're looking at the map, he's just behind JD, so he'll have a drafting partner here in a minute. So we'll have to see this Cap's strategy pay off here. Let's go back to the battle box for just a minute. Tyler Lee is going to come to pit road this time. Now, he's with Cap being 3 seconds up. That's going to give him a lot of space. We saw him come out in front of the leaders when he pitted, and he pitted right as soon as he got past. This is going to change things because Cap is already going to be ahead of those guys when they come off pit road. We've got everybody coming down. I've got Tyler, Aiden, and Korn are all coming down pit road. And Cap's got the draft off JD, so that's just going to pull him forward even more. Ooh, Tyler almost doesn't make pit road entrance there. So now Ralph Connor takes over the lead. $25 to go, or 24 to go, really. Yeah, we're gonna have to see. This is getting quite interesting. Is Cap's gonna go around JD in a hurry? So let's see where Tyler Lee's at. He's just getting the right side up. And these guys are just getting to pit road. Aiden barely makes it. Eric Cap is going to be out of 4. Tyler's rolling. Cap's down across the start-finish line. And Tyler's on the warning track down in turn 1 and 2. I think Cap's going to have him on exit. Because Cap's not going to have to slow down. He's going to be carrying a lot more speed. And they come out damn near side by side. So now this is where it gets more interesting. And this is where some of the experience is going to come into play. Did Cap save enough right now to be fine? And does Tyler Lee over push the tires? Cap's going to force him to the high side. I would not let Tyler Lee have the bottom. Make him do it the hard way. Make him burn his stuff up on the outside. And he actually cleanly goes around Cap very quickly. So now if Cap can just hang with him, maybe pressure him a little bit, force him into a mistake. But Tyler Lee is already putting one hell of a gap on Eric Cap. So Tyler Lee's your first of everybody who's pitted at this point for their final time. So you still got Gabe, Diesel, Ron, and Ralph all need to pit one more. Let's take a look at the pit strategy box. Like I said, Cap already 6 laps into his run with 22 to go. Tyler, Korn, Aiden, all on freshies at this point. And then we've got up the road just a little bit. We've got Ralph out in front. I'm kind of wondering if Ralph doesn't flip the script here, but man, I hate to see him wait too long. Apparently JD's having some internet problems, so he's getting off the track. But go back lap times. We'll go back to Ron. Ron is actually closing in on Ralph. About a half second that last time. We'll see what it looks like this next time. But I think I would pit with about 20 to go. I think that sets you up for a good run to the end. You're going to have some fresher tires. Go a little bit lighter on fuel. And see what happens. I don't think Ralph took 2. Because Ralph hasn't pitted yet. So keep that in mind. I've got to wonder when Ralph comes in. Ron has called out that he's going to pit, so just what I thought. He's going to come down and carry a lot less fuel. So here comes Ron to pit road. And he actually dialed the brake bias up. You could tell because the car was a lot less twitchy there. So Ron down pit road. That's going to let Tyler Lee probably come by him here very shortly. But Ralph stays out. This is an interesting strategy. And he has gap Diesel. He's 9 seconds up and pulling at the moment. He's kind of up and down on lap times, which may be helping him actually. Staying about a 58.8. Ralph up 10 seconds over Diesel. Now, Diesel's got to be way off pace. I don't know if he's coming to pit road or what, but that was not a good lap for Diesel. He lost about 2 seconds there. Yeah, Ralph was 2 seconds faster. Diesel with a 101 that time. That's rough. So Ralph continues to roll. And it looks like... So Ron is going to be your first car lap down in 8th. Let's see if Ralph hits pit road. Nope, he stays out again. I want to check this out. It's going to be interesting to see what happens here. I'm just not sure at this point. But Ralph continues to march. He might pit with 15 to go, maybe. Let's go back to your people who've pitted already. So Tyler Lee's about 45 seconds back from Ralph, but as we cycle, that may change. Then Eric Capp sits theoretically second. Korn is theoretically third. What I saw there, it looked like Korn was starting to get all over the backside of Eric Capp. Capp way up the track that time. He might try that, Dustin. Yep, and there goes Korn around Cap. The question is does Korn have enough to go 4 seconds up the track to Tyler Lee? I think if Cap works with him, I think there's a good possibility, but... Ooh, Cap gets the wall. Korn gets it a little bit too. They keep on rolling, though. Let's check lap times here. Looked like Tyler Lee might have been faster that time. Korn with a 58.6. Tyler Lee with a 58.4. Ralph Connor continues to circulate. Interesting that he was up in the 59s and he runs a 58. And the lap car of Ron St. Louis gets around him, which Ron's going to want to put some time between him and Ralph right now, so that way when Ralph pits, he's well ahead of him. As we saw, 3-second lead, not a lot. Ralph with a 59.5 that time, but he's still pulling over Diesel. I mean, Diesel's up and down as well. And he's getting hounded by Gabe. Which Gabe's got a pit as well. Diesel just called out he's coming to pit road. Look and see where Ralph's at. Trying to keep an eye on when he's gonna pit. I mean, I gotta imagine he's getting close. I mean, unless he's been clutching, I don't know it, but Gabe was headed to pit road that time. Gabe dialed the brake bias up that time. So that was some smart thinking. So second and third on pit road right now. Tyler Lee's going to pick up those positions when he comes down the start stretch. I think this is where stretching that fuel would have worked out a little bit better. And I'm surprised that Korn late in the run didn't try to clutch a little bit to try to stretch that, but I guess it is what it is, right? So Tyler Lee now up to second place. He's just coming out of turn number 2 as Ralph Connor's going into turn number 1. So this is going to get real interesting real fast, because Ralph's going to come out with some really fresh tires when he pits, compared to Tyler Lee's old ones. I just don't know how much of a factor that's going to play. And he may be looking to take 2 instead of taking 4. If he takes 2, that's going to put about probably 10 seconds ahead of him. It may work out. It just depends on if Ralph is comfortable on 2 tires. That's the other question. He may go 10 to go, 2 tires, splash of fuel to get the end, and let it rip. I think that's what I would do if I was in this position. Yep, Ralph just called out he's going to pit, so we're going to see what happens here. We're going to stay with him once we hit pit road. It may work out. It may all come unraveled right here. You wouldn't think, Dustin, but I've driven some real funky setups around this place on 2 tires. So like I said, it all depends on what Ralph's comfortable with. He's headed down pit road now, though. Hey, Risen Fi. So Ralph down pit road, and this is got to be the most annoying pit road speed and length. I'll just say that it is terribly slow as he comes all the way down pit road. Yes, I do. He hits pit road. Tyler Lee's going to be coming out of turn number 3 here in just a minute. He took 2. This may work out as Tyler Lee gets ready to come across the start-finish line. It will make him a little bit looser. So it'll be interesting to see if he can pull Tyler Lee in as Tyler Lee takes over the lead. I'm very curious to know. He ran a 58.6 last time. Ralph's going to come out. This may pay off big for Ralph because he comes out in third place. As Tyler leads down into turn number 3 and 4. This is not the playoffs. I'm curious to see if Ralph starts reeling these guys in because he is going to be quite a bit freer. I can already tell he's starting to reel corn in. We're going to go back to the gap. He's looking to go inside of corn already. Well, now what's interesting is Ralph is one of the oldest competitors in this field outside of Fatherball. So pretty cool to see some experience come into play here. And he goes around him very quickly, and he's going to set off after Tyler Lee. 4 seconds to Tyler. We'll check our lap times. We're going to keep this up so you guys can see what Ralph's doing. He's 3.8 back right now with 8 laps to go. Waiting for it to come in. He was a half a second faster than Tyler Lee. This could get very, very interesting very, very quickly as long as Ralph plays this strategy quite well. He's down to 3 seconds now. I think I'd have went in 1 lap earlier because you would have been about 2 seconds closer, and that's big. He's got him almost down to 2.5. He's under 2.5. He was over 3 the last lap. This is gonna get really, really wild. See what it clocks in? He's 1.5 seconds faster, and he's down below 2. Has Tyler smoked the right rear off of that thing, and the drive is gone? Yo, we always talk about it. 2 tires over 4. Sometimes it plays out, sometimes it doesn't, and it looks like it's paying off here. 7 laps to go. Ralph Connor's got him down to 1.6. He's under 1.5 with just 1 corner. Ralph's just got to stay consistent and smooth, and I think he'll have it in the bag here. He's going to be down to 1 second almost as we come off of 4. Down across the stripe. Ralph was 1 second faster that time by. Down to 1.1 right now. I think if Ralph can sniff his draft out of turn number 2, I think we see a lead change somewhere around lap with 5 or 4 to go. Ralph's almost there. He's got his draft. Off the nose of the car. He's going to chase him down into turn number 3. He's got him down to 6. Almost down to 0.5 seconds. Ralph's got him under 0.5 second. He's down to 0.3 as we go to cross the line. Tyler's going to set up wide. Ralph's just got to take his time and get the drive out of the corner. There's no point in passing in the short shoots. You might as well wait, get the drive out, and pass him down the straightaway as Ralph's all over the back of him. Ralph looks to the inside, and there he goes. It's a drag race down the backstretch. 5 laps to go, and it's a dead heat down the backstretch into turn number 3. Ralph with the inside line. It forces Tyler to have to check up, and Ralph is just going to mosey his way on by like a Sunday drive. We'll see if he can start to gap Tyler Lee, and Tyler trying to push it. He loses 2/10 right there at 4. Oh, and Tyler gets the wall. Corn's back there watching this whole thing unfold, and he can do nothing about it as he's 3.8, and it's getting stretched further off the back of Ralph Connor. Now, Ralph just has to focus. Don't lose sight of the big picture. At this point, you've already made the pass. Don't burn the right rear off. Drive as smooth as you can and finish up these next 3.5 laps. I mean, that is knowing what you can do with this car, how well you can do it, and making the execution work. Although Tyler Lee just pulled back in a little bit after Ralph kind of made a wide turn number 3, but Ralph's going to go ahead and put the hammer down, hit his line, and start to pull away again as we've got 3 laps to go. Diggs, I don't think you're wrong. I think that a lot of it with the 2 tires is it allows it to rotate a little bit better, but you don't dare take 2 tires midway through the race. You've kind of got to keep that in your back pocket for late in the race, because if you try it early, you're not going to have lefts when you go to put another set of tires on. It's just going to make it worse. So, you know, at this point, Ralph has pulled out 1 whole second over Tyler Lee. He doesn't have to push. He can kind of just glide it through the corners at the moment. As Tyler's struggling with his speed through the corners, he does not have that drive out. So, you know, at this point, a second in Indy is big, right? So you just kind of manage it at this point. We're gonna go back and look at Tyler because I want to see Ralph still faster than Tyler by 0.07. So, you know, the 2 tires are still working. We'll keep an eye on that, but I think, like I said, at this point, I think Ralph has done everything he can to put him in a position to win this thing, as he's a second out on Tyler Lee headed down the backstretch. We'll go back to Ralph Connor. Let's ride on the roll bar of Ralph's car here for just a little bit. Tyler Lee 0.8 back at the moment, and you can hear Ralph just not getting excitable on that throttle. As I see Tyler Lee has slipped off a little bit, so I don't know if he slipped coming out of the corner. This thing's official. Ralph Connor leads across the line. Tyler Lee second. Zach Korn third so far. But we got 1 more lap to go. Ralph's just got to keep it clean. As he's pulled out about... He's back up to a full second as we come off the corner here. Ralph leads down the backstretch for the final time. Like I said, experience over usefulness. Ralph Connor, like I said, one of the oldest guys in this field, is going to bring home the win at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. He's your first 2-time winner of the season. Ralph Connor brings home the bacon tonight. Oh, JD just set the fastest lap of the race. JD with a 56.9 at the end. My God. We'll get the results here once JD finishes up the last lap. What's up, Keith? All right, now that we've got our results, we'll get our Ralph didn't take left sides during that whole race, he just said. What? So Ralph Connor gonna come home with you as your winner. Tyler Lee comes home second. Mr. Corrin comes home third. Eric Kapp is fourth, and he's gonna wreck it into the everybody's wrecking into the pit divider. Aiden Haller comes home fifth. Gabe Griffin sixth. Ron St. Louis is seventh. Diesel Weasel's eighth. JD McHaley comes home in ninth. Ethan Mosby is 10th. James Phillips 11th. Gary Freeman and Fatherball out very early on with a 12th and a 13th. As we've got guys wrecking all over hell. I'm very curious. We'll see if we get we'll see if we get Ralph here in just a second to talk to him, as Ralph's going to burn it down. And we'll hopefully have Ralph here in just a second. Yep, and we do. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna grab him. Ralph, I heard you say it in the in-game chat. The stream didn't hear it, but you didn't take left side tires that whole race. Ralph, do I got you?
Yeah, that I only took right side tires on both pit stops.
Okay, so I gotta ask, because my experience here is first set you take 4, last set you take 2. How much of it really played a factor in that middle run, or did you not notice an issue at all?
I didn't notice an issue at all, but in practice I ran long enough to see how much, so I knew I wasn't wearing the lefts out very badly. So I thought, well, and then we never got a caution, so I was like, well, I got to take right sides only again on the second one.
Right. Well, and it's kind of what I figured you were going to do there with 10 to go. It didn't make sense to take a set of 4 because it's going to put you too far back. Just enough fuel and a set of 2. You come out 4 seconds back, you close the gap quite quickly. I was actually shocked at how fast you pulled them in, but you get the win tonight.
Yeah, I noticed on the first run that I was just way much quicker after about halfway. So I figured I had a chance as long as, I didn't make any mistakes.
Well, and so, I got to ask, how much of it does age and experience come in against these young kids that decided to pit early and just run their tires clean off the car?
Well, that's just experience knowing that on fresh tires, they have the advantage. On older tires, and with me on fresher tires, gives the advantage to me.
Yeah, that's true. Well, and I could hear it. We rode on inside the car with you for a little bit. You could hear just how gentle you were being on that throttle. And I could watch Tyler, and you could see kind of how wild he was off corner. And I definitely think just throttle control was the key tonight.
Yeah, throttle control worked this evening. It doesn't work every time, but tonight it worked.
Yep. Like I said, it was a solid run, especially after that pit stop, because we were watching to see where Tyler was going to be at everything. But, like I said, you pulled it off with just pretty much, in my opinion, a late pit stop, but it worked out quite well with the 2-tire stop. But Yeah, like I said, you get the win tonight. Anybody you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
I just want to give a shout out to my wife and my brother Phil. I appreciate both of them.
Alrighty. Yeah, and Phil got to watch this whole thing from race control booth, so I'm sure you guys got a lot to talk about after this.
Oh, I'm sure he'll give me a holler tomorrow.
Oh, I'm sure. All right, Ralph. Well, congrats on the win tonight. We'll let you go and hopefully get to talk to you again in 2 weeks.
Thank you.
That was Ralph Connor, everybody. All right, let's get the second place man in here. The man who was flying tonight. I thought he might have something, but I think he got beat by experience on this one. Tyler, I don't think you've done too many races in this car around Indianapolis.
I have done a lot of races in this car, period. And I'm just happy that I'm just happy with how well I did. Ralph made a great strategy. I was really contemplating when was the right time to go in, because obviously we were going to have to refill one more time.
Right.
If I would have waited 1 or 2 more laps, or if Ralph would have waited one or 2 more laps, I might have had it. But really happy with the Crunchyroll Ford Thunderbird out there doing real well.
Well, and it was funny because I was just talking to him and he didn't take left side tires that whole race.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that when he put that out. That is
What were your left
bold
sides?
strategy, Cotton.
What were your left sides after that run?
After the end of the race,
Yeah, just what'd you have for tires on the left side?
it was 95s.
Okay, so if it's 95, let's
90
call it 90.
95s.
He's probably somewhere around 85 on that left side. So,
Man, that makes me, I should have never taken lefts. I would have been way out in front.
Right? In the words of Dale Sr., is real neutral.
Yeah.
But,
It's one of those things too, where like, especially the first green, when the first green round of green pit stops, you're putting on. I put on 4. If you're gonna put on 4, you might as well. Or if you're filling the tank, you might as well put on 4. It's about the same time,
right.
and it's one of those things where the real hope was, I kind of figured Ralph was gonna do 2, because he was about 15 seconds behind me when he was.
It was gonna be close.
Yeah, it was gonna be real close. I'm like, I'm pretty sure he's gonna put on 2. My only hope was that from the time that I did my last pit stop to get me to the end of the race, in between his, I had saved enough tire to where my 4 tires would beat his 2, but it just wasn't meant to be.
Well,
It kind of shows Indianapolis is heavy on that right side. That's the right side you got to really worry about at Indy.
oh, dude, between the right front and that right rear, yeah, I mean, because off corner it uses a boatload of it because the setup's so tight, and on the corner entry it uses a boatload of it because the setup's so tight. So
Yeah, I'm just really happy with where I placed. I had a sad race after the last one at Richmond, so really happy to come back from that to getting second place and only 0.7 of a second off the win. Just got beat by strategy. There's nothing you can do about that.
well, welcome to Indy, right?
Yeah, welcome to Indy.
So, well, second place on the night. Anybody you want to give a shout out to before I let you go?
Let me give a shout out to my girlfriend Hattie. I don't know if she's watching, but if she is, love her. And a real big shout out to Lady Livery, who made my Crunchyroll, all my Crunchyroll themes for this season. They're awesome. They made great paint schemes, and a big shout out. Makes me look good out here.
I like it. All right, buddy. Well, congrats on the second place tonight. I know it's not the win you were hoping for, but hopefully here in 2 weeks you can pull off that win.
That's always the hope.
All right, buddy. We'll talk to you later.
Later, everybody.
All righty. We got one more guy. He's the man of the hour, the man that puts this thing on. Corn, you come home with a third place tonight. You led a boatload of laps. You missed your pit box, had to tow, and you still come back to third place.
Yeah, I was so mad at myself when I missed my pit box, man.
I didn't think you were that close on fuel.
I ran out crossing the line.
Oof.
And it's how I planned it. It just, I missed my box.
Well, I mean, you're trying to stretch fuel about as far as you can go, right? Like you'd rather finish the thing with, or finish your run early on with no fuel, so that way you've got extra for the end.
Yeah.
And it just kind of bit you there, obviously, with blowing your pit box.
Yeah, I mean, I made a 2-tire call on that last pit stop, and I feel like that's what put me back in. Won't call it contention,
right?
But it put me back at the front. It was a 9.5 second tow. Had I not made that mistake, probably could have won this race. Ralph was super fast though on long run.
Yeah, he was consistent. Although there towards the end of his fuel run, on the second go around, he was kind of up and down with the lap times, and I think that kind of saved him a little bit because it forced him to not have to burn up the left sides. Like he said, he didn't take any left sides all race. He knew it would work. And I think that was really the deciding factor because at the start of the race, he was sitting about 10th, 9th, 10th. You guys go through the first round, he's 5th. And then obviously here at the end on that last round, he comes out the winner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I got to give him huge congratulations for this race tonight. He's our first ever two-time winner, or our first two-time winner this season too. So
right. Well, you know, all in all, third place isn't bad on the night, especially with everything that you went through to get here. Obviously a win would look better, but yeah. And while I've got you up here, you want to plug your ICW 500 a little bit better than I did because I wasn't sure on when signups are going to start.
So I'm looking second or third week of December to start signups. I think we're running it out of the Legends Discord if I remember our discussion correctly.
That was the plan. We'll have it out of the Legends Racing Network Discord for that one.
And it'll be so the race is the 8th of February. Qualifying will be the 6th, and I'm drawing a blank. The duels will be the 7th, the Saturday before, rather.
And then the race is the weekend before the actual Daytona 500, correct?
Correct.
So there you go. That should get us everything that we need. So we'll talk about it more on stream as we get closer. So that'll be a thing. So be on the lookout for those announcements. You know, we'll have something a week out, probably the night before, all that stuff of when all those signups happen. And we'll have more info during the streams as we get closer to the actual event when sign up cutoff is and everything like that. So be on the lookout for all that info. Outside of that, all in all, pretty good race. Green flag to green flag. We don't see it too often.
I definitely wasn't expecting it. There should have been at least one caution, in my opinion, when JD spun.
Right. Well, and I'm surprised that the Mike and Gary thing didn't bring out a caution. Yeah. I mean, it was middle of the pack in turn one, so it is what it is, I guess. But yeah.
Like I wish I could look at the session details and see if cautions were turned off for some reason.
It kind of makes you wonder, but other than that, there really wasn't anything else. So
no, it was a very good race.
Yeah, I thought so.
And I'll say it before, and I'll say it again. I would rather have good racing with 10 cars than a wreck fest with 40 cars.
Yeah, I agree. It makes for a lot more fun, that's for sure. I mean, as it was, the last 5 laps got pretty damn exciting around here. So,
oh yeah,
but
I can believe it.
Well, anybody you want to give a shout out to before we roll this thing out and get ready to do some NASCAR 3D next?
I forgot that was tonight. I'm actually going to shout out you, because you're the one who taught me to drive this place.
There's actually a great video. If anybody wants to know how to drive it, there's a great video on this channel on how to drive it. But
there is. I would not have done as well as I did tonight if it wasn't for you showing, teaching me how to drive this track in this car. Because I mean, you remember how I was wrecking every turn.
Send it in full bore.
Yeah, like I actually, with what you showed me and everything, I actually figured out how to send it in a little bit deeper and still make it stick.
Right. Yeah. And that's the tricky part, right? Because it's so damn deceiving. You think you have all this banking and grip. You ain't got shit.
You do not.
But yeah, no, this is, I think this is trickier than the tricky triangle.
Sure.
I would almost put this on probably one of the hardest and most rewarding tracks that you could have, quite honestly.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, anybody else before I let you go? I didn't want to cut you off there.
No, that's it. That's all I got.
All right.
Shout out to the guys in the league, for helping it go green to green. A fantastic race tonight.
I agree. Where are we at in 2 weeks?
So in 2 weeks we go to Kansas in, I believe, the next gen cars.
Oh, that'll be an interesting one. Is that the repaved version?
Yes.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. I drove that, and she's a bit tricky. These guys are going to have some fun on a short track. I'll say that. So, all right. Well, I think that's it for us up here. I'll be back in about 20 minutes. We'll have NASCAR 3D tonight. And we'll bring you guys some wild action before we close out the weekend. So, on that note, I will see you guys in about 20 minutes, and we'll have another stream up for that very, very shortly. See you guys then.